Travis the Chimp. In February 2009, a 911 call from Stamford, Connecticut would shock the nation. A woman was screaming for help as her pet chimpanzee brutally attacked her friend. This is the story of Travis, a chimpanzee who seemed like a beloved family member, but whose attack would change everything we thought we knew about keeping wild animals as pets. Travis wasn't just any chimpanzee. Born in 1995, he was taken from his mother at just 3 days old and raised by Sandra and Jerome Herold in Stamford, Connecticut. The Herolds had no children of their own, and Travis became their surrogate son. Travis lived an extraordinary life for a chimpanzee. He ate meals at the dinner table with silverware. He drank wine from stemmed glasses. He brushed his own teeth, used the toilet, dressed himself, and even logged onto the computer. He had his own bedroom with a television and would watch baseball games with Jerome. Travis became a local celebrity. He appeared in television commercials for Coca-Cola and Old Navy. He was featured on shows like Oprah and Maury Povich. People in the community knew him, waved to him, and considered him harmless, almost human. In 2004, Jerome Herold died of cancer. Travis's world changed dramatically. Sandra was now alone with Travis, and their bond deepened. She became even more dependent on him emotionally, and he became her companion in grief. But Travis was also changing. As he matured, he was becoming stronger and more unpredictable. Male chimpanzees naturally become more aggressive as they reach sexual maturity. Travis weighed over 200 pounds, far stronger than any human man. There were warning signs. In 2003, Travis had escaped from the Herold's car and caused a traffic incident. He had shown moments of aggression before, but Sandra couldn't see the danger. To her, Travis was still her baby, her son. February 16, 2009, started as an ordinary day, but Travis was agitated. He had been acting strangely, and Sandra couldn't get him back inside the house after he went outside with her keys. She called her friend Charla Nash for help. Charla had known Travis for years and had visited many times before. She arrived around 3:40 p.m., hoping to help calm Travis and lure him back inside. But something was different that day. Perhaps it was the Xanax Sandra had given Travis in his tea to calm him down. Perhaps it was that Travis didn't recognize Charla. Or perhaps it was simply that Travis, a wild animal at his core, had reached a breaking point. As Charla stepped out of her car, Travis attacked. The attack was swift and brutal. Travis pounced on Charla with terrifying violence. Sandra tried desperately to stop him, stabbing him with a butcher knife, hitting him with a shovel, anything to get him off her friend. Nothing worked. In desperation, Sandra called 911. The call is one of the most disturbing emergency recordings ever made public. You can hear Sandra screaming, begging for help as the attack continued. Police arrived within minutes. When they tried to intervene, Travis turned on them, ripping open the police cruiser door. Officer Frank Giaffari had no choice. He shot Travis multiple times. Travis retreated back into the house, where he collapsed and died. The scene was nightmarish. Charla Nash had suffered catastrophic injuries. She had lost her hands, her nose, her lips, her eyes, and much of her facial structure. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital, where she would undergo hours of emergency surgery. Against all odds, Charla survived. But her life would never be the same. She was left blind and severely disfigured. Over the following years, she would undergo a full face transplant, a double hand transplant that was later rejected, and countless reconstructive surgeries. Her medical bills ran into the millions. Sandra Herold was devastated. She had lost her beloved Travis and was responsible for the destruction of her friend's life. She died of a ruptured aortic aneurysm in 2010, just over a year after the attack. The Travis incident sparked a national conversation about exotic pets. How could this have happened? Why was someone allowed to keep a 200-pound chimpanzee as a pet in a residential neighborhood? The truth is, chimpanzees are not meant to be pets. They share 98% of our DNA, which makes them seem relatable, almost human. But that remaining 2% makes all the difference. Chimps are wild animals with instincts we cannot suppress, no matter how much we domesticate them. An adult male chimpanzee is 5 to 7 times stronger than an adult human male. They have powerful jaws with large canine teeth designed to tear flesh. In the wild, chimps can be incredibly violent, engaging in territorial warfare and even infanticide. Raising a chimp in a human environment doesn't change its nature. If anything, it creates confusion and psychological stress. Travis was living in a world he didn't understand, following rules that went against his instincts, taking human medications for human problems he shouldn't have had. In the aftermath of the attack, Connecticut banned private ownership of primates. Other states strengthened their exotic pet laws. The Federal Captive Primate Safety Act was introduced to restrict interstate commerce of primates as pets. But the debate continues. Even today, it's still legal to own a chimpanzee as a pet in some U.S. states. Thousands of primates are kept in private homes across America, often in conditions far from ideal. Charla Nash has become an advocate for banning private ownership of primates. Despite her injuries, despite everything she's lost, she has spoken publicly about her experience, hoping to prevent others from suffering the same fate. The story of Travis is not just about one tragic incident. It's about our complicated relationship with wild animals. It's about the danger of projecting human emotions and expectations onto creatures that will never truly be domesticated. It's about recognizing that love and good intentions are not enough when dealing with animals that possess the power to kill. Travis wasn't a monster. He was a wild animal placed in an impossible situation. Sandra Herold wasn't a villain. She was a grieving woman who couldn't see past her love for a creature she considered her child. And Charla Nash was an innocent victim of a tragedy that should never have been allowed to happen. The real lesson of Travis is this. Some animals, no matter how cute, how smart, or how much they seem like family, should never be kept as pets. Wild animals belong in the wild or in professional facilities designed to care for them. Anything else is a tragedy waiting to happen.